Hello, 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 and that was a little spooky. I enjoy these new intros, although it is very abrupt when it goes from that to just, whoop, it's us.
We're here.
I do love the tombstones, though. Those are a fantastic touch. Shout out Glenn for making those. She kicked butt.
She also decorated this whole studio.
So very
Her
festive.
and Jimmy and Seabass.
They killed it.
The kids,
Absolutely.
as I like to say.
Yeah, the new bloods. All right, so, guys, is there some housekeeping we could address before we get into all the nitty-gritty?
We can,
There's some housekeeping.
Anthony,
yes.
you have some?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Levi. So there is some housekeeping, a little bit of brooming, a little bit of mopping. Right.
I
The
like that.
problem is around this time of year, it's hard to find any brooms.
They all
I know
flew
what you
away.
mean.
Sorry, I tried to deadpan that. I couldn't. So this last week, over the last weekend, we've had the Eagle Edgeless sale. Right?
Yeah, big sale. Good
25%
sale.
Off.
People
This-
Time
like
to
that.
take advantage of it.
The Screamin' Eagle sale, as some people would say, 25% off all Eagle Edgeless, the 350s, the 500s, the 600s, and the Eaglettes. Right?
Very nice.
So the children of the Eagles, the smaller Eaglings, I guess you could say. But yeah, so we had a great sale. I believe it's ended.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
Sometimes our sales run through Monday. Sometimes
They
run through
do,
Sunday.
right. Sometimes they do, but I think it is only till Monday.
So if you
I
went to
think it is over.
therightcompany.com,
Okay, it is
you would
open,
see
right?
whether or not it was
Okay,
still there.
all right. So, anyway, so if you need to stock up on Eagles, now's the time, right? I think.
Well, it was the time because it's over.
It's Monday.
Sales over.
We're still running today?
It's over.
It's over.
Oh, sorry about that. But hopefully you picked up on some good stuff.
And
right?
if you missed it, the best way to find out next time, sign up for the email.
Absolutely.
Get on the newsletter. The details.
So
Couldn't
for
agree
those
more.
who wondered, yes, we actually do this stuff off the cuff, off the top of our heads as we go, because otherwise we would probably know that before we started.
I like the way you
Just
said
throw
that.
that out there. So you know it's real.
It is real. But I think that for those that picked up some Eagles, right, especially coming up into rinseless wash season,
Yeah,
right?
very nice. They're getting
Rinseless
ready for it.
wash season in the garage, right?
Yeah.
With a hot bucket of O&R,
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Got your Yeti buckets.
Got your Yeti
Smells
bucket, your
good.
insulated bucket. You get out there in the garage, do your pre-spray with
warm.
an IK multi-sprayer, get that O&R on the surface, get to washing, keep that car clean during these winter months.
I
It's
like
getting
it.
kind of cold.
It is. It's. I think it's a high of 50 something today. That's why
There's
I
a
broke
wind chill
out.
advisory.
That's why I
coming
broke
through
out the
valley
Dixon
today.
flannel. I was going to message you guys to make sure you also wear yours, but I didn't.
Dang.
So
Well, I wore my unlimited sweatpants. That's as close as I got.
okay.
Dang, that's not even close at all.
That's not a Dixon
They're warm.
flannel.
They are
He's wearing sweatpants, pajama pants. Some would say. I chose to wear
Athletic pants.
actual pants today. Some jeans. Thought I'd bring out the dress up a little bit.
Well, I dress
Feel a
for
little
speed
good.
and comfort. You know,
Today
it's
I
not
dressed
just for
for
Anthony anymore.
a combination of speed and comfort as
Yeah.
well, right? And so, other than that, though, right? So we have that being as a housekeeping thing, and then SEMA is approaching very soon.
Yeah.
right? So we are. I mean,
Few weeks.
do we have a volume issue going
Apparently.
on? Can we
It
get
sounds
this,
like people are saying we're very quiet,
we need to start yelling.
despite speaking
loud
directly
noises.
to the microphone.
We will
so-
just speak louder for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not to
so,
worry.
SEMA's approaching here
Yeah.
in just a handful of weeks. And Levi, do we have a car picked out for SEMA yet?
We do. I've actually been in contact with our friend Tavarish.
Love that guy.
He's been sending me pictures
Oh,
as
has
he's
he?
been working on it.
Updates.
Sent me pictures of the interior, getting ready to go in this week.
I saw some seats recently.
It looks beautiful. They
So,
are gorgeous. Send them to me.
I'm excited for this.
Sending pictures of the cars. It's been getting put back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down to the wire. He's in SEMA Crunch.
He is
you
in
know,
SEMA Crunch
trying to
time.
get that stuff done. But yeah, so we've got that going. Gonna have a car in our booth. We will be at SEMA. 54109, I believe, is our booth number. We're in the West Hall. We're gonna be right next to Avery Dennison.
Is that
So-
the big new hall?
The big new hall. So
Yeah.
1.5 million square feet or something like that. Pretty crazy. But automotive restyling, car care, all that is in one hall, along with the off-road 4x4 and truck. So
Overland stuff.
yeah, so that's all going to be on one side. All the 4x4 stuff is on one side, and then the other side is all going to be restyling car care. So, like I said, we're going to be right next to Avery Dennison. So we'll get to see Justin Pate and all the guys, hang out with them. And then you can come over and see our booth. So those of you that are going, you can come see us. We'll be at SEMA this year. Myself and Dane are going to be coming, so that'll be fun. I'm very excited about that. I was a little confused though as to why Anthony's not going to be able to attend with us, but
yeah, he said he had like some other engagement. I'm like, what's more important than SEMA?
Right, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. So about that,
Okay.
I guess this is a housekeeping thing.
Oh,
Is this a good time?
It's
to
a perfect
is this-
housekeeping.
Is this a good time?
what
to
are you
talk about
keeping in
this?
your house?
You know, because people want to know if they come to SEMA, they want to get a photo with the three of us.
Yeah.
They need to know, plan ahead. You're only going to get me and
2/3.
Well,
Sorry.
you'll get Juan. You'll get me, Dane, and Juan. So
That's true. You will get one.
Those Trace amigos.
Trace amigo. Yeah, see, there you go. Right. Yeah. So what was the title of this podcast? Right. Seasons changing.
Seasons changing. Little
Seasons
fall,
changing
little
into
action.
seasons.
Yeah, some leaf colors.
Yeah. So I mean, I would call it seasons changing, life changing.
Okay.
Things such as that. Yeah. Nick had a good one in the background. So this is pretty exciting, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I found out that I am going to be a dad.
What? Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So,
Thank you.
when did you guys find out and how far along?
Oh, yeah. So that's a good question. So yeah, I'm going to be a dad.
Okay.
Me and my wife are having a baby,
Awesome.
and I know I'm nervous to tell people this. It's exciting, right?
Yeah,
Because there's
right.
so much unknown.
Right,
I
exactly.
think that people probably watching.
Well, you've got a
this
lot
have
of
no
time.
idea.
It's kind of nice now. You've let us all know, friends. They can start giving the the tips, the tricks, the helpful things.
Yeah.
And you can kind of ease into it. You've got 9 months to get this figured out and get the party started.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting, and so I mean, yeah. So you asked an important question, right? You said, Anthony, how far along is she?
Right.
Right. When's the baby coming?
Right. What's the due date? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the due date. So about that,
What?
people are gonna laugh about this. The baby's due
Yeah.
any day.
Oh,
Okay.
like you don't know the day. It's too early to tell,
in
and you're waiting
8
to find
months,
out.
7 months
Could be
or
any
so,
day.
it'll probably be because usually, girls find out. They
Yeah.
give you a
Well, how
time
long
and-
does it take to cook a baby
Just
for?
something.
It's total of 9 months, but most of the time when people make these announcements, they're usually 8 to 12 weeks long when they let people know.
Yeah.
It's a human,
So,
not a chicken in
yeah.
an air fryer.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah. So, anyways, I've known for 9 months.
So,
Oh,
so when's the due date?
Technically, the due date was yesterday.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So you have known for 9 months then. You have fully known for 9 months and there's still no baby yet.
Yeah. So, not yet.
So,
And
have you put a crib together?
Yes.
Have you guys gone shopping?
Yeah. So honestly, I guess you could say I've been kind of bad about posting this on social media. Actually, because I haven't posted
'Cause you
anything.
didn't say anything.
To be honest, I haven't really said anything. But I'm hoping that a lot of the things I've said in the past here, the past several months, has probably started to make a lot more sense now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, you remember a couple months ago, actually not even a couple, a month ago, I said, hey, I'm building all this stuff.
All the
Right.
house projects.
And you're like, Anthony, what are you doing all these house projects
right.
for?
I
And
did
said,
say
a lot
that.
of
I thought it was
back
very
to back to
confusing.
back.
There was a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
every single weekend, you're always working on something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me making a baby's room.
Okay. All right.
Painting a
He's
baby's room.
nesting.
Yeah.
Building furniture. Building a crib. Building everything.
That's why the Evo hasn't had the detail work done yet.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you
Makes
got a
sense.
vehicle, 4 doors,
Yeah.
put a baby
Yeah,
seat in
I
the
really
back.
like knowing that we are just now being told about this. It's
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
fun.
kind of a
Finding
All
out.
right, okay,
we're
so
kind of
you-
like your
second.
brothers.
So,
and-
so to be fair,
Shows how much he
um,
respects us,
all that remodeling of your new home makes sense now. Yeah.
I have been super busy.
Yeah.
And really, like, I don't really have like a reason why I didn't tell everybody. It's just like, I guess where I'm at right now, I think that kind of personal attention, right. is not something I don't really need it.
And to be honest, we did. Dane and I knew. Yeah. We all knew here. Yeah. But Anthony did ask, "Hey, I just want to keep it private. When I'm ready to announce it, we'll announce it, and we'll go there." So
yeah.
And we had many moments where we accidentally would say something that would reference it. Like, if you look back over the last few months of podcasts, there would be times where we're like, when you become a dad or something, you're like, oh, yeah, kids or something. Yes. And he would just look at us blankly. Like, he would not let it register on his face that there was anything.
Yeah.
So, good job there. You were really sharp.
Just, like I said, I guess I just didn't really, and my wife's not big on social media or anything like that. And obviously, I'm busy enough on social media. I live on there all the time with everything else, and it's like, I don't know. There's certain things about my life where I'm like, I kind of like not publicizing that to the world. I just, for some reason, I'm okay with that, and so that's why I've kind of kept this on the DL for so long, and literally up until this day. It's just the thing is, you guys found out. What's funny is that I actually announced it at a dinner. At
our big dinner when everybody was in town to work on the Subaru.
Literally, even Adam Patali.
Adam Patali was even having dinner with us. We were all sitting there.
So there was like a huge 20,
we had
people.
Eric, we had Jason, we had Jason Kilmer, we had David Patterson, we had Dylan.
So you
we
can
had
do the math on when we found out is when we were doing the Subaru big, like everybody get
Adam
on the
Patali. We had everybody there for dinner.
Yeah.
And then Anthony let us know after he toasted all
Carolyn
of us.
was like, hey, Anthony, can you do like a speech about thanking everybody for being here? Just kind of wing it. And I said, okay. She's like, she's like, make it a surprise. And I'm like, I'll make it a surprise.
You did.
And
nobody saw that coming.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I haven't really posted much. And honestly, I haven't even posted on my own social media. So like before you jump onto my Facebook page and say, congratulations, Anthony, or something like that. I haven't posted anything yet. And I don't know
wait till the baby's born.
Yeah, wait till the baby's born. But honestly, I'm just like I didn't really have a plan. I was just going to like once the baby was here, be like,
ta-da! A little Lion King action.
Right, here's my baby, and people are like, what the heck? Like, when did that happen? I'm like, I know, kind of crazy. And so
no, but I will say in this day and age when there's a ton of social media, a ton of everybody announces everything that they possibly can.
Yeah,
I will say it's been impressive to watch you and your wife not post anything and be that reserved and be private and it's yours and it's your thing and it's something that when you guys are ready to announce, you announce when you want to, and that's really cool.
I think that just I don't know. It's I didn't used to be like that, right? Yeah. I used to be like I'd post everything on social media, and then one day it kind of just like I don't know. I just kind of got over posting all the personal stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, because of I guess how much goes on here through TRC and then my own side adventures that I have in life that I'm kind of like, all right, I'm kind of social media'd out. I kind of get my fix in that other way where I don't need all that personal attention. And honestly, it's kind of better that way. Yeah. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just nice, right? I don't have to tell people, how good my life is on social media because it is good, and I have a great life. And
Daniel had a great question. That's I didn't even think about that. You've got
so
live-in babysitting.
I don't. I'm gonna have to check on them and feed them because I haven't fed Grant Hunter's family in quite some time. But anyways,
good work, Ian.
No, and so. That's good, man. And so I don't know. I'm not saying like don't post your stuff on social media or
it's not a judgment on other people. It's just what was right for you.
It's just one of those things. And the thing is like honestly, with how good the baby's room looks, honestly, it looks like Instagram worthy.
Yeah,
it's that freaking good, dude. It's a great baby room, and like there's all these good things about everything. We just don't really need the attention and. I think probably people are probably confused about that, but I just
so what you're saying is you exercised even more restraint by not posting that awesome looking baby room and all that stuff too. But I think I understand where you're coming from though, in the sense that like for people who there's people who just aren't like good at taking compliments, or they feel awkward when there's that attention that's like thrust upon them, where normally, okay, maybe when you're doing the thing like your broadcast talent or something and you're doing that, okay, that's one type of attention, and people will be like, oh, of course you like all the attention, whatever it is. And it's like, well, there are times where you're kind of like, okay, but it's how it's directed at you that makes a difference. And when it comes to something personal, like having a child or something like that, some people may not be as comfortable with that. And that's okay. I don't think people should feel like they're going to be judged one way or the other. If they don't want to post about it until it's time, that's fine. Dude, you don't have to worry about it.
I posted one wedding picture.
I admire that.
Yeah.
I posted one wedding picture. Some people post like their album or like change their profile picture to like a wedding picture for like 5 years, right?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like me and Katie both said, we got some good pictures, right? We framed them. We put them in frames around the house. We have a lot of those things. Yeah. But I don't need to be reminded of, I don't have to see it on social media every day. It's not.
You know what you have. You don't have to sit there and try and prove it to everybody else through social media.
And that's the thing. So that's where I'm really excited. I am super, like I said, any day now. I'll give you guys a little bit more time. These guys don't even know the gender yet, and so I'll make that at least one last surprise, something fun to look forward to.
He held off on that.
But it's dude, it's been awesome, and Katie's doing really well. She's tired of being pregnant. 9 months, she's done. Yeah, she's like, forget this. She's like, I'm in pain. I'm miserable. I'm ready for this to be over. And she's like, it's funny because just like you see on social media, you see all these pregnant women who are like, oh, the pregnant glow, or I love being pregnant. It's the best. My wife's like, stop. My wife's like, it's like the worst time ever. Why did anybody like this?
Oh yeah, my wife hated it too.
They're trying to rationalize it to themselves. I think.
Well, and my wife, like, she didn't want to be pregnant. She didn't like being pregnant. Then when she wanted to be pregnant and we tried to have a child, like that was really hard because we had some issues. And then when we had Hadley, she was like, oh my gosh, I don't like being pregnant. And then when we had her, she was like, okay, one and done. I don't need another one. I don't need to do this again.
Clearly that wasn't the
case. We're good. And then all of a sudden, Augie was a surprise. Augie, we were like, oh, crap.
How did you get through?
Yeah, like, you're not supposed. Oh, man. And then my wife was like, I don't want to be pregnant again.
Sir.
So, So, and honestly, that's what happened. It was just like, man, here we go again. And we heard, other folks have said, like, hopefully your wife just forgets for a few years.
Yeah.
And then the next one happens, and she's like, we should have a baby again. You're like, okay, just so you know, it's on you.
Well,
like,
So no, it's I don't know. It's really exciting. Like I said, it's been first couple months. Honestly, it's almost like you just living normal life. Kind of like midterm, whatever it was. That's where start knocking out a bunch of stuff, building a lot of things, and getting things ready, and continuing to work on things. But that's why it's like all this home remodeling started getting done, because it was like not for the baby, but just literally that's where the timing ended up. Yeah. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. This is a lot of stuff to be doing here in like these final weeks. And it worked out. It was a little stressful, but everything's good. We're all like 100%, ready to rock and roll. So that's why I just wanted to let people know, because I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks, and then I might be remote a little bit after that. And so you're going to wonder, like, where did Anthony go? Why isn't he going to SEMA, or why, this? That's the reason why. And anyways, hopefully you guys are happy for me.
I'm excited.
Oh, we're absolutely
happy
for you.
I don't know. I would say, hey, give me tips, or give me anything like that you would have. But like in terms of like a newborn, we have so much crap. I don't even know. I don't even tell you.
So here's all you need to know.
The baby shower was like
I will say the next 3 months.
Yeah.
They technically refer to it as the 4th trimester.
Yeah.
So the baby, even though it's out and it's born, it's still mostly going to sleep and poop and pee and cry and need to be fed. And that's what it's going to do for about the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
In that time period, after 2 months, first 8 weeks, really. After that, that's when you're going to start to notice their personality. That's one of the coolest things. And I think one of the greatest things is those first 2 months, it's just you feeding caring like it's an animal.
Tamagotchi on hard mode.
Right. No, it is. Like it's fun because it's a lot of
beeping at me.
Well, what's fun is like you're gonna notice like the first time that child smiles, you're gonna hit a spot where you're gonna be. It'll be 3 a.m. It's just gonna be you and the child, and you're gonna be like watching some Fast and the Furious, and you're gonna be feeding, and you're just gonna be like just kind of killing time, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna look down, and you're gonna be like, oh, it's almost done with the bottle. Okay, and then you pull it out, and the baby's gonna smile, but him or her's eyes are gonna be closed, and you're gonna be like, what vision do you have right now that is making you smile? Because you'll think you have no reference of anything.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They don't have teddy bear. They don't have anything that's gonna like. What is that? What are you dreaming about or seeing? That's gonna mess you up because you're gonna be like, wow, they just smiled. Like that's always the coolest thing. The first time you get a smile. The first time they see you and smile, like where their eyes are open, because those first 3 months they don't see anything. They're very blurred vision, so they don't have a sharpness yet. Yeah. So after 3 months, Anthony, that's when you get to see the personality of who they're going to be, and that's really exciting. And so I really enjoyed the first 3 months of both my kids. Augie, he cried a lot, but I found out later it was because he had really bad heartburn. Yeah. So. Once we got through the heartburn, but I remember going on drives, long drives all over the city. Like I just put him in the van and we'd go cruise and I'd listen to some music or a podcast or something. And I'd drive for 3 hours while my wife got some sleep and could hang out because he was just.
Some people call it cruising, call it looking for a friend.
Going out looking for a friend. And
you're looking for the Sandman is what you're looking for.
But it was fun because I got to play, I'd play my music for him. I talked to him even though he was just an infant. It was kind of fun. All of a sudden you realize you have a buddy. That's your buddy for the rest of your life. Like, they're going to hate you at many points in your life, but it's kind of fun. All of a sudden
your car.
Yeah, they're going to beat up your car. Like there's a lot of stuff.
Stab some couches.
They're going to stab your couches. They're going to
that's the part I'm just not really prepared.
Just imagine that but on your Corbo seats.
It is fun because it's kind of a neat it's really a neat feeling. Yeah. So, and Ian with a best tip when flying with a baby, pack extra clothes for yourself. So when the baby throws up, you have a that's something that I don't miss.
Yeah.
You need to carry a ton of throw up rags.
Yeah.
A lot of premium microfiber works great.
Well, what's funny though is so here's the other thing too. Right. Obviously, it's a weird time to be bringing a baby into the world, right? I mean, I don't want to say a weird time. It's not necessarily a bad time either. It's just like we've been in this for a couple of years now, to where it's just strange. A lot of the regulations are different. The rules are different. There's a little bit more to be just kind of concerned about out there, and so that's where I don't think we're going to be traveling anytime soon. Yeah. I think it's going to be laying low. Fortunately, all my family's here in Idaho, which is nice. So I'm not planning on traveling. And so that'll make things pretty easy. But mad respect to the people that do travel with babies.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I'm thinking about all the stuff that's around my house that Katie's like, this is the go bag for this. Like, trust me, she's a planner.
She's ready to go.
You should see these drawers in this baby's room. They are meticulously organized.
I don't doubt it.
And it stresses me out a little bit, to be honest, because I'm like, I'm not going to put these back the way you have them, by the way. Have you seen?
If you can do it with the Evo, you can do it with baby supplies.
But so it's kind of funny. Like I see people traveling, I'm like, wow, that's so much work. Holy crap! Yeah, that's a ton. Why don't people come to you? Yeah, that's what I think.
No, and I'll tell you, Augie's never been on a plane.
Not yet. No, not yet. No,
he's 7 years old. He hasn't been on a plane yet, and so Hadley's been on one flight, and that was when Carly took her to Disneyland when she was 7. Yeah, and she's 10, and so. That's the only time. So I've never flown with my kids. Yeah. And usually it's road trip stuff. And road trip I can control.
Yeah. So these guys bring up a good point. You might want to PPF your Evo. Probably the whole thing. Honestly, I'm just going to build a barrier. Mm-hmm. Right? I can get one of those, what's it called?
Yeah, you should put a dog gate in the garage. And it just divides that third bay from everything else.
So that's funny, though, so again, that's where I'm kind of in this weird point, right? In my, I guess you can say, in my stuff, right? The house is ready to go. Everything's ready to go. Right now, but the realization kicked in actually several months ago that I have a 2-door Honda Civic Coupe from 1999 that is probably the most dangerous vehicle to put a baby in.
Well, not only that, those new Corbos are going to be hard to fold and move to slide a baby seat in the back.
Yeah. Honestly, those might as well be the baby seats. Baby's not falling out of that. Those bolsters will keep them right in there.
It doesn't help that I got the Corbos after I knew the baby was coming. Right? And then, but I do want to give a shout out to my wife though, because I actually got, remember my motorcycle, my BMW. She let me get the motorcycle after we knew the baby was coming.
Yeah,
that
major
was
brownie points that I never awarded her for until I guess now.
A very respectable,
but
move.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Cool wife. And but right now, my baby vehicle is my 2001 Dodge Ram 1500.
Totally appropriate, totally fine.
Anthony, I've got some advice for you. If you're in the market,
trying to sell me a right-hand drive. He's like, you should get a van too.
Incredibly spacious, lots of headroom for when that baby isn't a foot.
I will say, first time with the Elantra, putting a baby seat in the back. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, this is a small car."
Yeah.
Then we were like, "Oh well, we'll just deal with it."
Yeah.
Then, literally the night we came, and I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so it was fine. Like I'd put her in my, I didn't have any problems with it. But it was funny when I went to pick Carly up from the hospital with Augie, and we had Hadley's like 3-year-old car seat in there, and then Augie's baby seat, and we put it in, and I was like,
they take up a lot of space.
That's the whole back seat.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. And at that moment, that's when I said, we need a different car. And a week later, I bought a minivan. Like,
you know what?
It
That's
was,
okay.
And it was great until the kids were till Augie was 3. We had 2 vans in 3 years, almost 4 years, and then bought the Camry and went back to a sedan. But it was that I needed that space. It was all of a sudden you're like, ugh. So the 4Runner is going to take a lot of time. It's going to be used a lot more.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, I think that like the 4Runner is gonna be great, right? Mm-hmm. But and the truck will be fine. Yeah. Honestly, it takes about 20 minutes for the heater to really kick in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
AC
that's when you bundle them up. Throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like, that's where I've been thinking. That's why the discussion happened where I was like, man, I might look into a new vehicle, at some point, but I just don't know what the heck. I don't know what to get right now. Prices are just so insane that it just makes it kind of tough. So I think I'm just gonna be happy with what I got now. Yeah. Right.
Well, and you'll find out,
and then down the road, right? Yeah. Child will be like, hey, Dad, your truck was awesome. That your old classic that you had.
Yeah.
I'm like, my 2001 was a classic.
Well,
indeed.
And I'll say this, like, for the first few months, you'll only be using the 4Runner. Like that's going to be it. Carly and I did that, where if she needed to go somewhere, we just put her in the little car in the silver, in the Elantra, and it was fine. When we'd go somewhere together, we'd take the Jeep because we had to put a baby in the back seat and maybe blankets and a diaper bag and stuff. Yeah. And we'd drive the Jeep and go do stuff. But it's once you have that second, that's when it gets a little more. And honestly, when they're still infants, they're a little more portable. It's just the amount of space that baby seat takes up. So once they become 3 years old, it's easier to be like, hey, hop in the back of the Civic. We're going for a ride. And
just
you just permanently mount
human around.
Yeah, you just permanently mount a baby seat, and you're like, get in there, climb in there, get it, seatbelt yourself in. You're not as worried as much. They're a little more portable at that age.
Exactly.
So, first 2 times though, I think the truck will be fine. 4Runner is going to be great.
Yeah,
I think you're going to enjoy yourself.
I think it'll be fine. But anyways, that's it, man. I'm really excited. Now my weekends would start making a lot more sense, and they'll probably be. Yeah, I don't want to say maybe less exciting, maybe more exciting. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry I kept this for everybody for so long. If you're curious, I don't know. I mean, this seemed like the right thing for me to do.
And you know what? It's still good news. It's still exciting news.
Great. Heck yeah, it's the best news.
Super fun.
I think that now, what's good though, while I appreciate people's advice, I often get more advice than what I want, right? Because I could just be walking by somebody, right? And in a conversation, I'm having a baby, right? Well, some advice for you, right? Right. Well, imagine hearing that for 9 months. And so I've skipped that.
You have.
From a lot of people. So now I've made it to this
cheat
point,
code.
which is kind of nice. So, but I'll let you know if I need any help. But no, everybody's really excited. Both our families are thrilled and just can't wait. I mean, it's just It's gonna be life changing for sure. And I'm not really. I wouldn't say I'm ready. I don't think anybody will ever be ready for the change that probably happens.
You won't be ready until that baby is like pops out and you look at it and then you will notice. Like it's a weird. It's just a weird change that comes
Instincts kick in.
Yeah, like we had when Hadley was born, we were still arguing over a name.
Yeah.
Like me and Carly I had one name, Carly had another. We had the middle and the last. We just couldn't.
I hope you had the last.
No, but we had you know what I mean. We had the middle name. We were pretty much set on the middle name, and we were pretty much set on the on that. And
at least you weren't naming your kid Stone.
Right. It's close, Dane. That's a family name. Just so you know, Dane, that's a family name.
Yeah.
On my side too. So
I wish it would have been Stone.
I would have loved Stone. So here's the deal. But I had the name Alice. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to name her.
That's a cute name.
Carly had Hadley. That was her name, and we were like locked in, right? And Hadley was a month early too, mind you. Mm-hmm. So when we were there, Carly was like, "Yeah, I really wish you'd like we're literally going up to the room, and she's like, I really wish you'd rethink Hadley." And I was like, "Yeah, it didn't fit with me, right?"
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she popped out, like the literal moment that like the baby came out, like. Final push, baby out, right? Yeah. I said, "Oh, hi, Hadley."
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like that. It was the weirdest thing, but she popped out, and it was like her and I knew each other, and I knew that was like it was like it'd be like walking around the corner and running into me or Dane at a grocery store. You're like, "Oh, hey, Dane, what's up? Hey, Levi." Like it was that, and it was the weirdest feeling.
It was cemented at that point.
And Carly goes, "What?" And I said, "It's Hadley." Like, and she was so stoked, and she's like, "Serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Hadley. She's right there." Like that was, but she was like, "Are you sure you're okay with the name?"
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, no, it was that cement. Like I knew her name's Hadley. That's it. So but it was also that moment where you change, like your brain's like, "Oh, this is her, like this is who we're hanging out with." So it's going to be cool for you. And I think as much as advice as everybody gives you, there's a very weird primal instinct that comes into you that you don't even need to second guess. You just do the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it is just to listen to your gut and don't worry about it.
Most people spend their entire time fearing that they're somehow going to mess their child up. And it's like, life happens. At a certain point, you can't control everything. You can just do what you can do, and the rest is whatever.
I'm ready
happens.
for the dad reflexes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Kick in for those dad reflexes.
Pow, pow. So fast.
Thanks to our friends over at Brooks Running.
I know. You're going to have
He's
nice
ready.
hot
14s. I'm ready to...
It's gonna be great. I'm excited to see all the TikTok content for Brooks with you and the dad reflex videos that are gonna be coming out.
So this is a big roundabout way of saying congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited. And so any day now, like literally any day.
So what was your weekend like then?
Yeah,
Anthony?
might as well.
So yeah,
because you guys were literally then,
dude,
getting ready just in case an alarm bell sounded. Correct.
Like I mean, basically Friday night was spent doing like. Calisthenics, right, to try to get things moving. Lots of walking. That's what I've been saying. Been going on a lot of walks lately. But I think Friday night we went on a nice walk, kind of hung out. I think I went and got her some food, and I've been very much like a go-getter person, right? Hey, I really would like some ice water, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry. Bam, there's some food for you, right?
Yeah.
Basically just being a good support system like that. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. But now in the last couple days, it's like we're ready to rock and roll. And so I think Friday night, pretty chill. I didn't really do a whole lot because we had rain on Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. Was it Saturday or Friday?
I don't know. I wasn't
Friday.
here this
Friday
weekend.
Friday evening. We had a bunch of rain. So pretty nice night inside. And then Saturday, I pretty much spent most of the day watching. I think Katie wanted to watch Survivor. I was playing a little bit of my Nintendo. Just kind of, honestly, we're just doing a lot of waiting.
Well, and it's kind of weird. I always like the people that are like, we went on our last date as a married couple before we became parents.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do that?
No. I
had people that are like, we went to dinner, we went to a movie, we got it out of our system because we're not going to be doing it for a long time.
I mean, we've gone on a lot of. I mean, we've gone on a lot of dates. I don't really know. I don't really know what else we would want to.
Well, that was Carly and I. We did our stuff, and
really
like I said, we were surprised. Hadley came 1 month early.
Yeah. No, we are basically we've just been, dude. I don't know. I've been going around the house just making sure everything's, keeping things vacuumed. The dogs went and got groomed, make sure they're clean, and then. What did I do? I did something on Saturday. I worked on something on the car. I just don't know what the heck I did. I'm always that's the thing. I'll pick up these small projects, but I'm already forgetting. Right. And then yesterday was super lazy. I'm talking like we watched several scary movies.
Nice.
Organized, did some more, laundry and things like that, and that's it, man. I don't know. Nothing too exciting right now. I can't commit to too much because the thing is Katie just knows that this is my favorite time of year to go ride a motorcycle. Right. Leaves on the ground, go out for a nice cool ride. I got heated grips on the BMW. I'd be like, oh, this is perfect. Leather jacket, throw that thing on. Helmet. Feeling cool, looking cool. I can't do that, right?
You can ride around the neighborhood without leaving it. That's
it's basically where you're.
Yeah, because that's I can't go too far, and because what I'm fearing is I'm gonna be like, I'm going for a ride.
You go do the Loman Loop and you lose cell service.
Don't see my phone. Don't see anything. And I pull over and it's like it's happening, and I'm like,
or it happened already.
Yeah. So I haven't really committed to anything. I've just kind of been taking it easy for right now.
Nice. That was a nice little weekend.
Yeah, not so bad.
We got David says, Anthony, I'm so happy for you. I would say keep with the 4Runner size, 4 full-size doors. Maybe Dane could sell you the F350. Yeah, that'd be a little bit too big. I honestly though, it'd be really nice if I had a 4-door. I mean, the truck is fine, but like a nice fun 4-door. Sports car, right? Or a fun
2006 car. Hyundai Elantra. They're cheap right now.
Honestly, that's why I really like those. I like the new Civic SIs, the 2020 Civic SIs. I like the coupe the most though. And I think if I got the 4-door, I would always think how much I wish I got the coupe.
Yeah.
But I can't envision putting a baby in there.
Well, and it's honestly, I had friends who had a 2-door. They had a kid, and they're like, no big deal. Super easy.
The first few times.
For the first few times, exactly. And then it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
And they're like, ugh.
And they
go to they borrow their mom's car or whatever, and then they open up the back. They're like, oh, this is nice.
Well, and it took me a while to understand.
So convenient.
But when it came to minivans and stuff, the minivans aren't as important in the early stages, but it's when kids get to the point that they're opening their own doors where you're like, oh no, I need the minivan so that it doesn't swing a door out.
The minivan too is you don't realize, let's say, Katie's dad says, why don't you guys come on down? And you guys are like, well, we'll drive. Mm-hmm. You're going to fill the back of that 4Runner with so much stuff for the kids, and you're going to not even have the dogs with you. It's just going to be you and Katie.
Rations and 500 diapers. Oh,
no, that's literally what it is. Let's bring food rations. Yep. Let's bring blankets. Let's bring the playpen. Yeah. And we got to bring the high chair. The high chair. We got to have the high chair. So all of a sudden you pack the car with that, and you're going to be like, oh, this is going to be a problem with the three of us in this 4Runner. And then, let's say your mom's like, hey, I'm going with you guys. And you're like, I don't have room for you. Like, I remember at one point having my I had my Sierra, my 1-ton diesel, long bed, crew cab.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I remember going.
True manly truck.
I remember loving it because I had room for my wife and I, comfortable room, like enough to spread out.
Yeah.
Car seat, mother-in-law, and an armrest, and then all our gear to go camping. Fit in that long bed. Plenty of power. Rolling up the roads, 25 miles to the gallon in my diesel. I miss that truck. It was a great truck.
Should never got rid of it.
Shouldn't have gotten rid of it. Sold it in 2013. But point was, it was the first time where I was like, we all fit.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't fit in the Elantra.
No.
And I just remember going like, man, this is nice. Because I remember thinking, it's too much truck. Mm-hmm. But it was perfect for those moments. So, I mean, David's not wrong. F-350, all right. Might be all right.
Yeah, let me tell you about too much truck.
I'm going to need like $100,000. And and then Ed pointed out the 4-door Civic Si would be a good compromise, right? Mm-hmm. I just wish the dang rear end of those wasn't so ugly. Oh. I think that they're just hideous from the back. There's something like they need a different spoiler. They need something to make it look better. And that's why it was just a couple weeks ago I was trying to talk my wife into saying, hey, those Civic Type R's are they're safe, they get great gas mileage, I can scoot around pretty quick. She actually said, if that's something that you really want, it's something we can talk about, right? Found one. Price MSRP $38,000. I said, oh my gosh, that's not that bad, right? That's pretty close. I call, I say, hey, I need more information about this. I want to know more about this. And they said, yeah, we're going to send you the window sticker. There's a couple add-ons, but nothing crazy. And I say, awesome, cool. Add-ons totaled $51,000.
Oh.
And I said, a couple add-ons, nothing crazy. I said, yeah, I'm not paying $51,000 for a Civic.
Here's a curveball for you. What about an Acura TSX wagon?
Oh my, Dane, why are you giving me these ugly vehicles?
They look good.
Dane.
It's a TSX, they look good.
I would say hold out for a new Elantra N.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I want to stick with a Honda. Either I stick with a Honda or my crappy 90s Hondas, or I just get into a newer truck, but the truck prices are absolutely insane. And I don't know what kind of truck I would want.
Nick's popping up the minivan prices.
Nick points up minivan prices.
2 JZ swapped to Sienna.
2 JZ swapped.
Find yourself an older Sienna.
Get yourself an Odyssey.
Yeah,
you could get an Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't really know, because I think that when I was actually driving Dane's 350 the other day, I love diesel. I like it's just fun. I think the torque is more fun.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it way more enjoyable to drive just around town. I don't know what the heck diesel I'd be able to get into if I even wanted to get into that. I just
they're all overpriced right now.
Everything's overpriced. It's like, here, $50,000. It only has 180,000 miles on it.
Oh, is that all?
For a tradesman edition.
Yeah.
By the way, the vehicle we're talking about is 20 years old.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what the heck? So
yeah.
I think I'll just hold out until something pops up that makes sense.
G. Davis.
Oh.
Anthony, me being who I'm fixing Rex and seeing Rex, I'd recommend something other than a Civic for your child car. They squish like a pop can.
Yeah,
that's
they
great,
do.
David.
They crumple pretty bad.
But if you find an Odyssey that's like a couple generations old, those are still decent.
Yeah.
No, and that's where I feel like I'll probably be just dangling the RAM a whole lot.
All I'm saying is busy moto.
Which meant Honda Gauge cluster are you registered on?
Oh my.
Yeah.
David offering on some trucks. David, you're very helpful. Thank you.
I don't know. Like I said, I would like to stay in the Honda realm because I'm just a Honda guy, right?
You won't touch Euro stuff.
Yeah, I won't touch Euro stuff.
GTIs are cool though.
Even or like a Golf R, awesome, right? Even with the DCT, like a Golf R or the DCT, awesome cars. Super
I would go
capable.
R32 just for the sound.
But R32 is a two-door.
I don't mean the Nissan. I mean the Volkswagen in that case.
Two-door. It's a two-door, unfortunately. But VR6 is pretty sweet. But I think that I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me. But I have to have a truck in my life. There's no not having a truck.
Yeah.
I would like to have a fun car. It's got to be a Honda for obvious reasons, and but the truck would be the first thing I would change. But I agree that I'm one of those guys. I would want something pretty fun and pretty cool that I could modify, at least enjoy. I just don't know what the heck I can get into.
Only time will tell. Well, but hey, there's options out.
So Dane, speaking of minivans, what did you do this weekend?
Well, this weekend I've had the van for about a week now, which is great. And thank you very much for Anthony helping me on that one. When he said he drove my truck, it's because I wanted to drive the van back home. So that was fun. But yeah, I purchased a JDM right-hand drive van. It's sitting out in the studio now. We're maybe going to do something with it. We'll find out. But anyway, I have some pictures I sent Nick just of the van so people know what I'm talking about here. Yes, I realize it's a little homely. It's not the best looking thing ever. But I kind of love it. Yeah. I just love it. And yes, it was previously owned by teenage girls, so there are a lot of little accents I may be tweaking in the future. I already took those off.
Yeah, I still
super extra.
I love the super extra trim level, though. And the road flare, very cool.
Yeah.
All kinds of little things, but, you know, for such a small vehicle, incredibly spacious inside.
Dude, it's nuts inside there. Like,
it's fun.
I love how much room there is.
G. Davis, no.
I predict someone would. That's what I'm saying. I kept asking Dane. I said, those are perfect. You could. What I love is you close the curtains, you know, go to the Express Cafe parking lot,
it's like camping.
close
the curtains. Making it weird.
Close the curtains, lay down the seats.
G sent me a comment this
Hop
weekend
out, get some breakfast when you're
that
finished.
he wished that Dane would hang out in his garage. And
so I got it tinted, is what I was going to get to. It's on Friday. I took it to Solar Pro Tint, and I actually had the windows done. And I think the van already looks a lot sharper just by having
so
the
good.
tint. I got the ceramic tint, so I got like the nice stuff. And it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like outrageously expensive. It was just I'm going to get a better tint for it. So having the experience of ceramic in my Jag, which was done by friends over at Steve's garage, that was extremely nice. But in this case, I needed something quick. And I know Steve's very busy, so I went over to Solar Pro, and these guys were actually great, really great. I love Mike and his dad were extremely nice, and they did a great job. But yeah, little size comparison for you there between the truck and the van.
So what's the plan for the van?
Oh, the plan for the man with the van. In that case, I do have some ideas of what I want to do with it. It is not going to stay that color forever. It's going to get cleaned up. I'm going to take those nasty crusty graphics off because they're a little rough. Probably use some Ulex.
Dane, I think we're going to need more than Ulex. Those are like the...
We're going to need an eraser wheel.
I'm going to need
eraser
some
wheel.
Eraser
we're
wheels.
We may
have to repaint the car after we're done.
Well, we're going to use an eraser wheel, but you just have to know we're going to heat gun an eraser wheel, but you're going to have to know that there might not be paint underneath that vinyl.
And that's a very real possibility. I've gone through the thought process that maybe I will have to. Oh, thank you, G.
That's what I'm saying, right? Parking lot of Express Cafe.
The interior is such a neutral color.
So where'd you get pregnant at? At the parking lot of the Express Cafe after a hearty breakfast?
None of that.
No, you got to do it. You do it after. You do it, work up an appetite, then just roll out of the side door into the parking lot. And then go in and have some breakfast.
How funny would it be, like a Dane Eats episode, where it's just all of us cruising in the van, right? But we get to Express Cafe in the parking lot, but then we turn the seats around, we all sit facing each other, we bring like a little pop-up table and enjoy an Express Cafe.
Honestly, there's enough room in there, you could totally do that.
Dane just sits in his van and eats.
Yeah.
I will say,
bring it out to him?
Yeah, so I got the van tinted. I'm very happy with that. Unfortunately, during the tint process, the door must have been cracked open or something, kind of ran the battery a little low, so it wouldn't start right away when I went to go get it on Friday. But the guys were extremely helpful. We tried to jumpstart it and all this different stuff. And then I remembered, because I'm a complete genius, I had run Seafoam in it the night before, and I had not allowed it to burn all the way through. So,
okay.
It was just kind of camping out in the gas tank there. Because I had recently put a new, batch of gas in there on top of it. It's ritual for me. I realize, wives' tale, all that
ritual
stuff.
That is snake oil ritual.
Yeah.
Snake
you
oil
need to get
ritual.
away
It's a snake
from
oil ritual.
The snake oil ritual.
Anthony does Seafoam sometimes for
I don't
himself,
run octane boosters, but I do
but it's
run
usually in
fuel
the form
injector
of West Side
cleaners
Drive-In
and that
or
sort
Red
of
Robin.
thing. Because anytime I buy a vehicle that is old and I don't know the history of it past a certain point, I'm like, okay, there's probably gunk. And I realize, yes, modern fuels have detergents in them. I'm not brain dead. I understand that. But when it comes to stuff, I'm just like, okay, even if it is snake oil, it's a placebo effect, whatever. Makes me feel better. I'll spend an extra $10
Did
like
you
a
put
moron to
Seafoam
do
in the diesel when you got it?
No, because that's a new vehicle, essentially.
Well, it had miles on it.
It's a 2020. It barely had 7,000 miles on it. I'm
probably
not
had some
messing
gunk
with
on
that.
it. Probably.
Dane,
I'm not messing with that.
I would
but with a
say-
gas vehicle, the first thing I did when I bought my Miata, I bought that in the 2010s. Of course, I'm not going to trust what 92 vehicle has going on in it. I don't know. So I prefer to replace the fluids when I buy a vehicle that's older than, let's say, 5-6 years.
Okay.
That's just my barometer.
But
Just run some cleaners through it. And even if it's BS, it just makes me feel better. So, hey, it's just the way it goes.
Well,
and I understand. There's
so
judgment there, but what?
You ran Seafoam, had a hard time starting, but you finally got it started. And what did you do after that?
Well, and the point was, it was a very weird culmination of events where it was our first rain in a long time. It was extremely humid that day, lots of rain, downpour, all that stuff. Basically, I think a lot of factors played into, okay, the van's having a little harder time. And I'm not going to let that scare me away from the reliability of it, because otherwise it started every single time I needed it to.
Have you put non-ethanol gas in it yet?
I haven't tried putting non-ethanol gas in it. I put premium in it, so I'm not running lower grade.
Yeah. They have non-ethanol premium that you can run.
But yeah, I could go to like a Route 66 station by my house and fill it with
Albertsons has
non-ethanol. Albertsons has it.
Like you can get. I would say.
It would probably run better.
I would tell
don't
you,
disagree.
a tank of non-ethanol gas would have probably been better than the Seafoam in cleaning and detergenting. Because the problem what people don't realize is ethanol fuels have more water in them, and it's the water that is in everything.
No, I understand
that
when it
causes
comes to ethanol fuels.
that just causes the gunk and the issue because it doesn't have the
issues.
cleaning capabilities that non-ethanol old school gas has. And you remember that many cars from the 90s don't have the ability to run some of the newer gases with the that have 10% ethanol.
Well, it's the same reason that if you have an older car, you may not want to run synthetic oil in it and stuff like that. There's reasons for that
There's
too.
certain things that happen.
The tolerances are different. Everything's built, you know, from the
So
era it came from.
I would say on your next tank of
fluids you
gas,
have.
Dane,
Yeah.
I would try and go just straight ethanol, just
Give
to
it a
see
shot.
how it runs.
Supercharges it.
Yeah,
It's
not
maybe I'll have 96 horsepower
straight
instead of 95.
non-ethanol, I should say. Not straight ethanol, non-ethanol.
No,
So
no,
old
no,
school
I know. Yeah.
leaded gas.
No,
Is that
most gas
regular
around here
unleaded.
has 10 to 15% ethanol in it. That's just kind of the standard. But I have been running premium in it rather than
that's
lower
not
octane.
It's not
so
bad, but just
it's offsetting some of the issues
Yeah.
because at least then I'm not running the risk of knock. Even though it could take regular gas, it's taking regular gas from the 90s, not regular gas now.
Well,
so
moving
different.
on, so you drove that thing after it started.
As soon as I got it running, I'm like, okay, whether it was the battery, the spark plugs, whatever, I'm going to drive this thing so I'm confident it has enough charge in it, it's good, it's warmed up, all that stuff. So I drove for 2.5 straight hours.
Yeah.
After I got it running, I parked my truck at the temp place, and I'm just like, bye, Dad Booty, you're going to hang out here for a little while. I'm going to drive this literally all over the valley. Yeah. So I did. I drove everywhere. I drove up 8th Street back down. I drove all around on the freeway to the Eagle area, all over the place.
Yeah.
And it just cemented how much I love this thing. Like it's so much fun. I can't expect. And of course, people are looking like, Dane, you got like a 650 horsepower Jag. What fun could you have with a freaking minivan with less than 100 horsepower? Mm-hmm. Different strokes for different folks. I, as a car enthusiast, love just something different. The experience of driving on the right-hand side.
Well, you're
it's a
always
little more
into that
compact.
weird cars.
I like the
You love
weird
that
stuff, but having that visibility is incredible. Even with the tinted windows and stuff, doesn't hamper your visibility at all, at least looking forward and around, because I got 15% in the front, 5 in the rear.
I'm excited for the booze cruise up to the cabin.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be fun.
All I know is I basically have a giant dog playpen back there. If I fold the seats up and I got the bar, I'll throw her bed down there. She'll be happy as clam.
Dane, then you're going to have to do a lot of dog hair removal on that thing to make
luckily,
it nice.
The ceiling is just like vinyl, so it's not going to have anything stick to it.
Yeah, it's all the velour everywhere else.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, that I think that you should definitely get that front windshield covered in Exo Shield or something, because
it's a large target.
It's a large target, and it's perfect.
Pretty upright.
There's no chips on it or anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like finding a Town Ace, a JDM Town Ace front windshield is going to be pretty hard to replace.
In the States. If I lived in Saudi Arabia or Japan or something, it'd be much easier. But around here, they're a little harder.
But then imagine that. Hi, I need a windshield replacement. Yeah, we can do that for you. We have to ship it from out of the country. Okay, we're shipping glass.
Don't worry, Dane's going to put it on
heavy
his insurance, and that's
$1,500 to replace this.
They're like,
woof.
What are we getting? No, you can pay for that yourself. We're not paying for that.
Oh, man. Yeah, so pretty intense. But, so that was basically the van front this weekend. But, yeah, I'm really excited to get going on stuff with that. I wanted Jimmy to get, like, some before video of it to capture in its, like, state before we do stuff to it. But I just like it's like a time capsule. So
it is.
I like that part of it. Nice. But in addition to that, I spent the weekend putting up some new draperies in the house because I got new windows and sliding doors installed where there were once French doors in the back. So now I have sliding doors, and they are extremely weather sealed. And I found out from the guy who was installing them that the doors that were there before were, might we say, a little dangerous. Basically, the one in my bedroom, for example, is a French door setup, but only one side open. The other side was like fixed.
That's how mine is, yeah.
Yeah. And he basically explained, these were old. These are original to the house. I'd repainted them. I'd taken them out of the frame and repainted them and put them back when I moved in there back in 2011. So it's been a long time, decades since that happened. But the lesson here was the guy installing them said, so when we went to go remove those, we found out that the doors did not have any caulking, any screws, anything holding them in place. It was literally just the trim around the outside that was holding them in place. So if somebody really wanted to, they could have literally just kicked this thing hard enough and it might have fallen in. He goes, when I removed that trim, it already started to fall. And he goes, I caught it, but it like breezed down. He goes, as an installer, awesome for me. As a homeowner, a little scary for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Well, so you're saying in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, you could have let Callie out one day, and that whole door frame would have just fallen on you.
If the
or
trim
fallen out.
If the trim had decided to give way, that thing would have just
just come in. Or a strong wind.
That is a
Or
very
a thief.
large 2-panel heavy door. So
Or a thief trying to break in, right?
Right.
First, they'd have to survive Dane's backyard.
True.
Right? And not get
good luck, buddy.
And not get eaten by the
Spider.
Venus flytraps.
Yeah, or Venus flytraps. Yeah, that come in
Human-sized
Yeah.
Venus
Very
flytraps.
strange that it hasn't taken the dog. But
Yeah.
well,
I think it's
she's
the
got
dog hair.
special powers.
Yeah.
She is the night guard dog. But so
crazy.
that one, he's like, it was a breeze to put in, but it was a little
Also
too
a
easy.
breeze
if you
to
catch
fall
my,
out.
If you catch my drift, it was a little too easy.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, wow, okay, thank you for that. Now the new one that's in there, solid as a rock. So nice to have there. And a sliding door instead of the open out kind. So it drives me a little less nuts letting the dog out in the middle of the night. But I'm going to set it up with like a dog door thing.
So did you replace, did you only have one
No, I had
sliding door or
two.
two? You did both
Two.
of them?
So the one in the kitchen and the
Yeah.
one in my bedroom, they both go out to the patio
Yeah.
just from different angles. And those got replaced.
Nice.
I got the window in my garage, the window in my kitchen, and the window in my office and Liz's office all got replaced.
Nice.
So we just went nuts, got all that stuff fixed. That's part of what like my Helix
Yeah.
stuff is for, is like doing house stuff. And this is a big part of it. I'm really
I love
excited
new
because
windows. I love new windows.
I think my winter bill is going to be so much less this year because of that.
And those were, you had original windows to the house, right?
Yeah, basically.
So since
So
80?
it's going to make
Yeah.
a difference
Yeah.
for sure because the house is built in 92.
Oh, 92?
So
okay,
it's,
it'll be nice.
It's going to be an
Are
improvement.
Windows
like it.
expensive?
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
Is it? So that's where I'm like,
It's the labor. It's the labor to install them. Like you
Yeah.
can buy a window, like your garage window
window for
was
pretty
probably $80 for the window. I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
if you
I
had
don't know
to,
prices. All I know is
yeah,
we're talking.
But I'm just saying, like to
tens of
replace
thousands of dollars.
just a window though. Like if you went to Home Depot and you're like, oh, I got a list of windows that I need, and you know the sizes, and you go to Home Depot and you buy them.
Yeah.
The windows are very inexpensive themselves.
Yeah.
And you can go up based on what you want to do. With
Yeah.
different levels and solar
I got
glass
the
and
nicer ones with the e-glass
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
you can
So,
change
like,
the,
yeah.
but I'm just saying the size, like your garage window is a normal size window.
Yeah, it's
not anything
basically
crazy.
that wide,
Yeah.
but twice as tall.
Yeah. So the window, you're like, oh man, that's like a $50 window. And so you're like, all right, got these, get these. All right, get them all done. And then they go, all right, so to replace all the windows, we're going to add another $9,000 on top of that. Whatever your number is. And you're like, it was like $1,500 for the windows.
Well, yeah, because what you're paying for is for them to do the installation and to remove your old
They
stuff and
remove
take it
all the
away and all
windows.
that.
They put them in.
Which
They caulk them
those
up. They
old
do them
ones
nice.
were beasts,
Yeah.
so I'm fine seeing them
Yeah.
go.
So I
but,
guess this is what I'm wondering.
We
right?
should add that to our list of
So-
future jobs.
Okay, so listen. What I'm
Windows
trying
and
to say.
doors.
So So we as people,
The royal
right, we, not me, but maybe everybody else, right, is replacing windows in a house, right?
Right.
Windows that are still most of the time functional,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Sometimes glass will have seeps. As a former window
Yeah, as a
cleaner,
window
right?
cleaner,
I've seen
yeah.
lots of different windows in my lifetime.
Correct.
Out of all the windows I've cleaned, from houses literally on warm springs, right, that were ancient,
Yeah.
right, to all the different types of other windows, storm windows, multi-pane windows, all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Mhm.
I've seen situations where there's been leaky windows. I've seen inefficient windows. I've seen really thin glass windows. I've seen really thick glass windows. I guess what I'm trying to say.
These ones are like that. They're really
So the cost of these windows is insane, right?
Right.
We're talking, like G says, $20,000 to replace 25 windows in his crib, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you're looking at $8,000 for one window, right?
Correct.
Now, when you replace a window, you're mainly doing it to hopefully make that window more energy efficient and look a little bit nicer in one way, shape, or form, right? Is to make it look nicer.
It also adds value to the house.
It also adds value to us. But how much value to the house does it actually add?
Basically, the price of what you just paid.
Well,
versus
you also have the advantage because you're putting more energy efficient things in your homes. Depending on your state, there are tax credits and incentives involved.
So I can
not
see,
in Idaho, though.
Well, yeah, maybe not Idaho. But that's where I'm like thinking to myself, okay, if you spend $20,000, $15,000, whatever it is, right, to hopefully cut down on costs, right, of heating and cooling in the winter months, does that a cost ever even equate to that $20,000 in the span that you're going to be in that home?
No,
it won't, right? No. So that's the hardest thing I have.
It is. It is the biggest reason
for me. It's not having a draft in the house. It's not having the things that are just like annoying. You'll
feel it in my old house. When I replaced the windows, that was our issue. Was we just had old glass that had condensation. There were no screens for half of them. They didn't really shut all the way. There was a lot of issues at our old house. So going through and replacing all the windows was great. And as soon as we did that, my wife goes, "Now let's sell the house." And I was like, "Whoa, hold on a second." Like we just spent like a bunch of money.
No, enjoy them while you got them.
Yeah. And then the lady that bought the house said, "Are you sure you guys replaced these windows? They look kind of old." And I'm like, "These windows are like 6 weeks old."
Excuse me?
I have the receipt.
Or she just tried to pull one on you.
But it is that. Like, I love the fact that my house, when I moved in, brand new windows. I also love the fact that Augie took a magnet and broke one of the biggest panes of glass in our house. And I am not looking forward to replacing that because I may have to sell the Suburban to do that. Because it's on the second story. It's the middle window. They have to take the whole window out.
Oh my gosh! So they need
pull
like
the glass,
a crane to
put
load
a new
it in.
It'll be like $6,000 just to replace that window. So super excited. I love the fact that I have a child.
Right? In a house, some of your biggest costs to replace anything, right, would be probably like in your entire HVAC system, your roof, and then your windows, fencing, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, technically, you're allowed to probably claim a home insurance thing at some point
if something befalls.
If something happens, right? So that's where if it was me,
siding's the other one. Siding's the next big thing.
Siding would be the next big one.
I'm lucky that I have. It sounds dumb, vinyl siding, but actually on my house it worked out great.
No, I have vinyl siding over my wood siding, and my vinyl siding needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Because I just wonder why wouldn't somebody take an insurance thing out to say, okay, hey, I need to get these windows replaced. They're cracked, they're broken. There's a draft coming through, or something like that, or there's a storm that came in.
Have to be a storm that came in that damaged
in my
something
case,
and broke something.
So
it made way more sense just do the HELOC.
But they would only replace. They wouldn't replace all of them. They'd only replace what got broken.
Yeah,
right.
You'd have to have a storm come in and break every single window in your house.
In this case, I was literally I was just replacing
I don't know where you come
the windows
from,
that are inefficient.
my storms feature sledgehammers. It's like either you doing insurance fraud? No.
So like. In my house, like I did a claim when the roof, like we had a big rainstorm.
An easy one if a storm.
We had a big rainstorm, and one section of my roof started leaking.
That's no bueno.
Yeah.
And so my insurance company only gave me $1,000 to fix that one spot.
Ugh.
And I was like,
patch it.
I was calling all the roofing companies, and they're like, oh, it's like $5,000 to fix that spot. And I was like,
they only gave me $1,000.
No,
you only gave me $1,000. And so what did I do? I climbed up on my roof with some patch seal and glued some
for like $100
sides down, and climbed up into my crawl space and found a spot and just caulked a bunch more spots. I'm like, I have to pull all these shingles and replace this because it's in a weird single section of my house.
Yeah,
that I probably could re-roof one day, and that's not a problem. I could do that myself. It's not a big deal, but I still have a tarp on that section of my house just to protect it because I still don't trust my own fix.
So to wrap up my weekend, other than those things, which I put the drapes on because I had to take the blinds out, and with the new fittings in there, I could no longer fit the cellular blinds I had in there. So now I had to get some drapes, had to get the right height, do all that stuff.
Dane, I love envisioning you
measuring.
Hanging a drape.
Believe me,
it's just
I eyeballed that ish.
It's just as good as
and it came out
light bulb. This cup of coffee.
Oh, I got some nice looking rods, some good holders, some good drapes. You know what's funny though? Maybe I'm mistaken. I used to work at Home Depot. I felt like we had all the things to do drapery stuff, but we didn't have the actual drapes for sale. So when I went looking, I was like, crap, they're not here. But you know who had them? Target. So I just went to Target, picked
what
up some
kind
ones
did you
I
get?
liked.
What kind of fabric?
These ones were
Velvet, crushed velvet?
They were partially polyester, partially
kind of weave.
I don't remember exactly.
It's like a twill.
They had a modern design on them, but they were 99.9% blackout. So the idea was because it's a bedroom, you sleep in there. Sometimes you want to sleep in the middle of the day, throw that on there. It's night inside now. Yeah, so that was a nice plus. But having the sliding door in that,
nighttime
darkness. Very, very happy. I like living in a cave sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Really
Haven't put it on the kitchen one yet, but
like, I'm starting to get the rickets.
But the last thing I did this weekend, just to kind of keep this stuff moving along, although house chat is fun for us anyway, I went and saw No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but
who'd you see it with? Your family or Liz?
I literally went by myself because Liz
you should have hit me up.
having eggs. I was gonna hit you up, and I was like, "No, he's expecting a child any minute."
Oh,
now.
no, I would have gone.
I can't screw him up. I was gonna ask you, and you were out of town, and I was just like, "Okay."
I wanted to see the
nobody
motorcycle
can go.
scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
because they look awesome.
Okay, so put it in order. Out of the Daniel Craig Bonds, I put Casino Royale at the top in terms of just like effective movie. If I were to rank them, I put Casino Royale up there. Second, I put Skyfall. That's where it was for me. I always put Skyfall as the second one. And then Spectre, and then Quantum of Solace. Well, now that I've seen No Time to Die, personally, I would tie it with Skyfall. So I really enjoyed
Not
this
as good
one.
as Casino Royale.
Strong Bond vibe. But Casino Royale was just so effective at the storytelling. Like, it was just good. But in this case, I think this movie in particular hit a lot of those
I liked
nostalgic.
Spectre. I thought it was great.
Well, Spectre did some things that were fun. It had great moments, but I feel like overall it was a little muddy compared to what it could have been. But that's just me. But in this case, I think where Spectre left off and this one picks up is very effective. Like, unlike some of the other past movies and other like eras of Bond, in this case, they really were doing more like serialized storytelling where it was actually like, okay, we're continuing where we left off in the last one.
Very nice.
And for some people, they felt like, oh, when Quantum of Solace came out, that was the second of the Craig movies. That one was not nearly as good as Casino Royale, even though it picked up right where the other left off. I think this is the reverse, at least personally, where I feel like Spectre, I enjoyed lots of parts of Spectre, but I didn't feel like the overall movie held up nearly as well as Skyfall or Casino. But in this case, I felt like where it picks up from Spectre and it does its own thing, it's actually the reverse. So it is the Casino Royale to the Quantum of Solace kind of deal.
Okay.
So anyway, it's very good. I enjoyed it a lot. And there were more cars in it than in past Bond movies that I've seen where they actually have more variety and stuff. I really enjoyed that. But something about the vibe of this, something about the locations they chose, the storytelling, all that, I really enjoyed it. It just had like, because the first Bond movie I ever watched as a kid was Dr. No. So like seeing the kind of like island base and all that kind of stuff really like stuck in my head. But this made me nostalgic for that in a good way. But it's its own story, so you don't have to worry about that. But I would just say very strong praise, at least from me. I would give it 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. And I will say it may not make everybody happy, but like if you're paying attention, I think you really enjoy it.
Nice.
So
What bikes were
vote
they using? Ducati Scramblers. What were they using?
for it.
Triumphs?
They look like Scramblers or Motards. Trying to think here.
I saw a lot of the motorcycle scenes because they had that new Land Rover.
Oh, there were so many like Land Rover
the new
Defenders,
the
and Range
Defenders,
Rovers in
the
it and
Defenders.
stuff.
I know they were
Yeah.
featuring the new Defenders in it, but I just didn't know what bikes. I want to say they were Triumph Scramblers, but I can't remember. But
They were definitely like Scrambler style bikes. It was hard to tell, but they had a very distinct LED design in the headlight, where it was like a semi and then a line. Trying to think if you know what identify. I'm pretty sure they were Ducati Scramblers, but I don't know.
They may have been. But
I don't know for sure. But anyway, very, very fun, good film, and I really enjoyed the locations. And honestly, the part that was hard for me was my favorite character in the whole movie, who you only meet in this movie, and you're like, whoa, she was great, but she was only in it for like 10 minutes, like very short. But it was Ana de Armas, who's wow. But also, I remember really like her in Blade Runner 2049. So in this,
Of course.
she is awesome in
course,
this,
she
but
was
she's
in
only in
Blade
it for a
Runner
very short time. But
2049.
honestly, like out of everybody in the movie, she stood out. Like really. But Daniel Craig did a great job, and everybody else is awesome too. So no, I really enjoyed it, but yeah. Oh my God, gee.
Gee, that is so good. So good. Well,
Okay.
good, Dane. I'm glad you had a good weekend.
All right,
Yeah.
so Levi,
So enjoyable. Levi,
You had a
please.
weekend where you went on a bit of a trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
So the old Gates family piled into the 2014 Toyota Camry SE Sport.
Family truckster.
Comfort
That
and speed.
Yep. Basically had to clean the car before every trip. Put the TVs, mount the TVs in the back seat so the kids can watch something. We were trying to leave early. We were going to try and leave by 10, but I had to drop Watson off over at my dad's. Dropped him off at my dad's house so he could play with the other corgi and spend the weekend with them. Those two dogs do not get along. So really fun for Watson to spend time with another dog that he absolutely hates. But point was, my mom was going to watch the cats. My parents offered to watch the dogs. We said, all right. But my dad said that Watson did great, so that was a good little benefit out of the trip. We left by 11. Right about 11:30, we're on the road. Got gas, got our snacks, cruising down. I'm doing 90 the whole way. Set the speedo, set the cruise, 90 miles an hour. We're cruising. We had to stop almost 6 times so that August could go to the bathroom. If it wasn't Augie, it was Hadley. Normally, we're a one-stop family. Get in the car, head to Burley, stop for gas and food and bathroom breaks, and then make it the rest of the way to Mapleton.
Yeah.
This time, I don't know what was up or what happened with all of our bladders, but there was 6 stops on the way. No, I drank the exact same amount of liquids that we always drink.
Jeez.
I was furious that my children have not experienced editing mode the way Dane Hennon does. Dane, I was missing you on this trip. I would have loved to have you as a co-pilot because I think, the lack of needing to use the restroom and facilities would have been
I will drive an
So
unnecessarily long
great.
time.
normally a 4.5,
before
5 hour drive. How long was it?
5.5 hours total. I still did. I made up my time.
Yeah.
I like doing it. 5.5 hours. We're going to get there in 5.5 hours. We don't sit in a restaurant and eat when we stop to get food. We eat in the car.
Is there somebody sitting at the end with a stopwatch, like timing, or are they expecting?
no,
it
this is just
certain way? Or is it just mostly for your own?
It's mostly
gratification?
myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, my wife she's sitting in the passenger seat with the
She doesn't want
stopwatch.
to spend any more time.
She's
with
got
it
the
than she
stopwatch
has to.
going like, you took way too long on that last bathroom break. Did you need to do that? My wife she's like, we got to get there.
Oh no, I
So-
can respect that. Just very different philosophies.
But no,
about
my
road
wife
trips.
is that. So
We
when
get
I
there when we
texted
get
all
there.
you guys at the Q&A, I was doing 90,
Yeah.
sending a text, eating my bootlegger
Yeah.
from Jimmy John's because we cruised through the Jimmy John's at Burley.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Got me a sandwich and was literally doing one of these. Just
Nice. Yeah.
just put it
Boy,
in my
there's an
armpit.
image.
I got to text the guys.
Let them know I'm on.
I had it in my headphones. And I threw
jeez.
my phone over, pulled my sandwich, just
Nice.
flying.
None of this seems safe.
So we got there. Quick trip. Friday was the wedding. So we drove down Thursday. Thursday night, my brother-in-law, everybody was coming into town. Everyone was getting there. So we were all just kind of hanging out at my brother and sister-in-law's house. He goes, we need to go see the new Bond movie. And I
What the
said,
heck? You saw it too?
that's a great idea.
What the heck?
I go downstairs, ask Carly, hey, do you want to go to the Bond movie? The twins said they'd watch the kids. It's like 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
Sure.
8:30 or
Sounds
so.
awesome. Yeah.
And she goes, no, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm tired.
Oh.
But you can go if you'd like.
Okay.
And gives me a look.
Oh no.
And I said-
What do you mean?
it's
What?
basically if you go, I'm judging you
Right.
hardcore right now.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
was
when you
like,
just go.
so I walked back up.
You just
I walked
go.
back up and said, I would love to see the new Bond movie. And he goes, yeah, I just got off the phone with Laurie. She wants to go, but she's getting final things. She says we should go tomorrow night after the wedding. And I said, that's a great idea. Maybe we could rope in some of the extra family.
Sure.
See if they want to go. So he goes, you know what you and I need to watch right now? I said, what? He goes, Wedding Crashers.
Nice.
I said, that's a great idea. So we go down to his theater, sit down, put on the projector because he's got the full theater
Pretty
set
good
up.
theater.
A beautiful theater. One that I wish I had.
Yeah. Any type of drinks or any types of
Well, he also
refreshments.
big Pepsi fan. So all the
Concessions.
Pepsis, Diet Pepsis and concessions needed. So Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Pepsi Zero.
I feel like he'd be the type of
a
guy
lot of
that
Mountain Dew,
has
Diet Mountain Dew.
full-size candy bars in his theater.
He would. He used to. He used to when
Those
he had
are for
his,
show. We
'cause
don't
remember,
actually eat
He used to
those.
own a convenience store.
Yeah.
So he'd have a lot of product. He'd just go like, I ordered a couple things, keep at the house. And they would do that. They had it set up.
Yeah.
But we had just sodas. So we sat back, had some sodas, had some Wheat Thins, just hung out and watched Wedding Crashers, me and my brother-in-law. Then Friday, big day, got the wedding. I went to the gas station, got me and Carly a couple big fountain drinks and some Dunford chocolate donuts.
Yeah.
You guys don't know what these Dunford chocolate donuts are. When we do our TRC trip to Utah, it's going to be one of the staples we have. They are a chocolate cake donut dipped in fudge. They're delightful.
It does not sound healthy.
Not healthy at all, but amazing.
Yeah.
So got us each one of those. Came back to the house, got the kids dressed, got them ready. The kids had to leave to go to the rehearsal, had to come back, start on the rehearsal. Yeah. Got down to the facility. Oh, that's awesome.
That is really nice. Thank you, Jeff.
And good eye, Jeff. Good ear, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got the kids down, got them over to do their rehearsal stuff because they were going to do it in the morning. The wedding was in the evening. So got them down there to the place, got them ready, picked them up, came back, ate lunch, and then we had our meeting. So I popped in the meeting. That's when, I don't know if you noticed, Anthony, there was if you guys saw my camera, a lot of family coming in, already dressed up, ready to go to the wedding. And I'm like, the wedding doesn't start for another 6 hours.
Oof.
Why is everybody dressed up, like ready to go? So as soon as we ended the meeting, then I got ready because we had to head over and start help set up for the wedding, my wife said. So we got dressed, went over there. My kids looked amazing.
Yeah.
Augie was the ring bearer. Hadley was the flower girl. Great time. They did their duty. Augie, walking back and forth, hanging out with the groomsmen, right?
Yeah.
Pacing. Just pacing back and forth.
Delivering that nervous energy.
Yeah. So Luke Berge met the happy couple, Connor and my niece Rachel. So when Luke was staying with us, Connor was staying with us. So Luke and Connor developed quite the friendship. So they got married. So Connor and Rachel got married this weekend. But Augie's pacing back and forth. Connor goes, Augie, what's up, dude? How you doing? And Augie goes, I'm just so nervous. And Connor goes, I know, me too, man. Pretty nervous myself. And Augie goes, I just don't want to mess anything up.
Yeah.
And he goes, you won't, bud. Don't worry. You'll be fine. And he's like, just really nervous about this. And Connor just laughed. He's like, all right, cool. No worries, bud. Like, let's hang out. Let's do this. And so they come down. They do their thing. Wedding goes off without a hitch. Great time. Yeah. Then it's party time.
Ooh.
Biscoff cookie wedding cake.
Oh my gosh.
Crepe bar.
Bifrost, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so Bifrost cookie cake. Augie was in heaven.
Yeah.
He was like, I thought he had brought a hammer with him. He was so excited. He was going to call down the Rainbow Bridge.
Yikes.
Then crepe bar.
That sounds awesome.
With Nutella, perhaps?
They did have Nutella.
Oh man, I am
any
a
fruit
Nutella
spreads?
crepe
You would have
guy.
been there with me eating about 8 crepes before they cut the cake.
Jeez.
They were giving out crepes. The dinner or luncheon dinner kind of, they called it a luncheon, but it was like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
The dinner was sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Turkey, bacon,
delicious.
turkey and ham,
Yeah.
beautiful ciabatta buns, just delicious panini basically. Had some of those, had some chips, some mango Beadmaker infused lemonade, delightful.
Delicious, yeah.
Delicious lemonade. Anyway, that's what we had. So they had that. Then party started. Dancing gets going. My kids, stars of the show.
Ooh.
Augie, as Hans noted earlier, he said, I saw what the video Carly had posted. So I had
You
Nick.
got the video
Got
here?
Nick here. You guys, this is Augie.
Oh wow.
With a suspender dance. Nice.
Show them, girl, yeah, boom,
Dang.
Yeah, but
frog
that's my
leap
boy,
and
right?
everything,
Yeah, he was
man.
ready.
So it rained. Did it rain at the
It
wedding?
rained while we were down there too. So just a ton.
I've never been to a rainy wedding. How was it?
We were inside, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
But it stopped
Sounds
raining for them to go outside and take their photos.
Oh,
so the
perfect.
photos are going to be amazing.
Yeah, they probably look actually really cool.
So
It's
Nick, you
everything
should play
glistening.
Hadley's dance. This was Hadley and my niece Mabel. Look at her bust a move there in the
Hey,
white.
she's getting after it.
She was getting rowdy.
Getting wavy.
She's having. Jeez, look at her.
She was bright red. She was so sweaty. The two of them were dancing till 9:30 at night. I mean, we were at the
jeez.
wedding till 9:30, and they were exhausted when we left.
Wiped him out. Good.
Wiped them out.
Oh, man.
Left the wedding, headed back home. Augie instantly starts crying,
Oh, what?
He wants to go back.
like tearing up, and we're like, "What's the matter, bud?" Like when we stayed till the wedding was over. Like there's no party to go
There's
back to.
nothing left.
It's over. Everybody's gone. We cleared the place out.
Yeah.
Everything's gone. Packed everything up, and he starts bawling. And I said, "What's the matter, bud?" And he goes, I don't want to leave. I'm gonna miss Utah. I just don't want to go home." I said, "Well, we still got tomorrow. We're gonna be here all day tomorrow. We're not gonna leave till late afternoon. Like we were planning on driving home Saturday. We can stay. We can come home at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, Boise time. We'll be fine." And he's like, "Okay." Sunday morning, we hang out, just same thing, kind of hang out with the rest of the family. It's there, eat the rest of the wedding cake. It's because my
As you do.
sister-in-law brought it home and we wolfed it down.
That's not going to waste. Yeah.
But we got home, right? Everybody gets home. We're all back there. They're eating the cake. And Justin goes, "I don't feel like going to a movie tonight."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, that's fine. I'm not worried." He goes, "We can watch Tommy Boy." And I said, "All right." Not even 5 minutes into Tommy Boy, he falls asleep.
Oh, jeez.
Father of the bride, that exhausted.
Yeah.
So he's got to leave. He's going on a shooting trip for the week. So he's leaving early in the next morning. So I'm like, well, I'll see you later, I guess, because I'm not going to see you in the morning. His wife and 2 daughters, the youngest 2 that are 18, they're headed to Ireland this week. So they left on Sunday for Ireland. That's why we couldn't stay till Sunday. They were all leaving.
Yeah.
So kids super bummed because Sunday we're getting ready. They see them packing. The girls are packing for their trip too because they got a flight in the morning. And this is all on Saturday afternoon. So we leave. Augie is sobbing, like like just crying for like the first hour of the drive home. Wow. He is wrecked, and he's like, he stops crying, and then he starts crying again. And Carly's like, "What was that?" He's like, "I saw the balloon that I took from their house. It's reminded me of them."
Oh my gosh.
And Carly's like, "Do you want me to have it in the front seat?" He's like, "I don't know."
Likes it there that much. Wow.
So he's both incredibly sensitive, but also totally desensitized when he's stabbing couches.
Oh,
and stuff. So
he's a
little bit of
sociopath.
both.
Sociopath. But
It's interesting.
He'll probably move to Utah. Like he loves
Okay.
the Carly's family so
Just a
much.
little
He just
separation
loves
anxiety.
he loves that stuff. So we were laughing. Carly and I were talking. We're like, he'll be the one that leaves and moves to Utah. Like that's what he'll do. But great trip, fun trip, good to see the family. Hot, fast, wet trip. Quick, painless kind of thing, but just a lot of fun. Wedding was a lot of fun. I got teared up. There was times in the videos because they play the video with the kids when they're little, and then they are now, and that got me teared up watching that because there were some spots where I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember because she was 3 when I met her, so to be 22 years old, 23 years old now, it was or 20. She's 21, but to see them. Like she was 3 when I met her, and we've been married. Carly and I have been married 17 years now. Yeah. It was wild to see. Like it's just weird to go like, oh my gosh, like. And then Facebook on the wedding day posts a picture of me and her when she's like 6, and we're watching TV, and it's like 13 years ago or whatever, 7 years. Like she said, I'm like, oh. It's just weird.
Yeah.
8 years. She would have been 8. But yeah, it was just kind of funny to see this. But it was cool. It was a really good time. Beautiful wedding. A lot of fun to see everybody, hang out with the family, do all that stuff. It was good. Came home Saturday, chilled out, headed. As soon as we got home, I dropped everybody off, unpacked the car, hopped in the Suburban, headed over, picked up Watson. Came back, and then Sunday we just chilled out, like chilled. And I cleaned the Camry out. To get all the garbage out of there. The car smelled like rotten McDonald's food. It was so gross. Cleaned the Camry up. Then did a deep interior clean on the Elantra. Cleaned and steamed all the seats in it, which I've never done. They probably haven't been, the last time I deep cleaned them was when I extracted them back in like 2009.
Probably like steam cleaning an old mattress.
I will say this, it smelled, Dane.
I bet.
I was a little surprised.
Yikes.
How bad that smelled. Even using Carpet Bomber and my steamer, how bad the seats stunk. Cracked the windows. I cracked the windows last night. It rained last night, but car didn't get any water in it, and it smelled just fine this morning. So I was thankful for that. But I'm going to steal some of our air freshener here and maybe a little FU and go put it in there just to freshen it up a little bit. But I was like, it was one of those where I was like, oh, I should have stayed up on this. It's been well over a decade since I've done these seats.
Well, now you hit the reset button. So
yeah, it was nice. It was nice driving in today with that. So besides that, I hurt my back. Cleaning my cars. So I've got an icy hot patch on my back. I don't ever have back pain, so I hate that I have this back pain. So, but other than that, easy weekend, fun weekend, quick weekend. 90 the whole way down, 90 the whole way back, 5.5 hours there and back.
Wow.
Both ways. I was very proud of myself that I was able to get that done, and we had a good time. So,
all right.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I can't hold it anymore. So, Dane, we got to end this thing.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, click like on this video, and head over to the Rag Company YouTube channel. And make sure you subscribe to that too, because that's where all of our more detailing and car-related stuff happens. This is just where we chat, have a good time. But any rate, guys, we will catch you on Q&A Thursday over on the main channel later this week. Till then, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.